And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Fantastic program today. Call with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic. Folks, we've just celebrated the 4th of July and American independence. In continuing our salute to the brave Americans who gave their lives for our country and our freedom, on the line with me now is David Kim, co-founder and president of the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation. David, I'm particularly happy to have you as my guest on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you in the house, sir.
Well, Bobby, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. It's a real honor to be on the show.
Thank you. What's the Children of the Fallen Patriots Foundation? Give us a 30,000-foot view.
Sure. Well, our mission is to provide college scholarships to military kids from all branches of the armed forces who lost a parent in the line of duty. And that death could have occurred, of course, in combat, could be in training, could be any other cause of death related to their duty, because our vision is to help those kids achieve the dreams that their parents would have wanted them to achieve.
Well, that's just an outstanding mission statement and an outstanding mission. How did Fallen Patriots get started? And share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers how you became involved.
Sure. Well, my wife and I started the foundation kind of stemming from a personal experience I had. I was in the Army back in the late 80s, and we were sent down to Panama to remove Manuel Noriega from power in 1989, if you might remember that.
I do.
A sergeant that I served with, Delaney Gibbs, was killed in the fighting, and that was just 5 days before Christmas, and he had a baby daughter due in March. So that was a really hard blow for all of us. I didn't know him personally. We were in the same battalion, but obviously that was a really tough one. And so that just really stuck with me, just wondering, what was going to happen to that little girl, who was going to take care of her. And, Sergeant Gibbs was only 21 years old.
Wow.
And so she's really the reason why we started this thing. My wife and I started it many years later. She actually lost a friend of the family in a military training accident, so it's close to her heart as well. And so the two of us started this thing, and she started out making the phone calls to the families, and I was kind of managing everything else, and it's grown from there.
Well, it certainly has grown. We're talking with David Kim, co-founder and president of the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation. David, tell us about the Drop and Give Me 10 Push-Up Challenge. My listeners have heard me talk about it. We've taken the challenge, but give us an overview of what the opportunity provides.
Sure thing. Well, first of all, thank you, Bobby, for doing that challenge. I saw that. I think that was really awesome. I appreciate everyone who's participated. It's really got started with Bear Grylls, who's a friend of our foundation, one of our board members, and he kind of heard about this thing that some of our families had actually started, and some military folks, where they record themselves, post it to social media. But the idea is to do 10 push-ups in honor of all the men and women who serve in the armed forces and lost their lives, and in honor of their families, and to challenge someone else to do it. And so those families started doing it. Bear heard about it, and then he kind of challenged a number of other celebrities like Drew Brees and Kathy Lee Gifford, who in turn challenged some others. And so it's kind of spread all over the place, and it's been great to see celebrity support. A lot of companies and restaurants and so forth and banks have gotten involved, and folks like you all and the media, and then a ton of grassroots support across the country. So we set up a website so people could see what to do. It's dropandgiveme10.net, and of course there's a hashtag dropandgiveme10.
To that end, David, July 4th, I was invited to an event and just shared with my friend. He said, well, what have you been up to? Which is just normal small talk. And I said, well, it's what we've been down to. We did a drop and give me 10. And lo and behold, this man stepped away from the dinner table where we were on the outside porch, walked out to the yard, and he says, I want to do this. I want to participate. And I was blown away. I didn't really ask him to do that, and that just shows you that the camaraderie and how people will help if they know what's going on. And to that end, I would like for our Car Clinic listeners and viewers to help and to participate. How would you suggest they get started?
Well, I appreciate that. That's wonderful. And I think that the way they can get started is by, you can check out dropandgiveme10.net to give you some examples of how to do it. It's just kind of doing the push-ups and challenging some other folks to do it, and then donating online for whatever amount feels right. There's the Facebook page, Drop and Give Me 10, and of course the hashtag and social media is hashtag Drop and Give Me 10 as well. And so that's kind of how to do it. Our website for the charity is fallenpatriots.org, and so people can get more background on what we're doing and our mission, and has some video testimonials from some of the families that we helped and so forth. But we really appreciate the support. It's a great awareness builder and great way to generate support for these families. And like you pointed out, I think America really loves and respects the military because of everything they've done for our country, and it's the best 1%, I like to say, in our country. But a lot of times, ordinary folks don't necessarily have a direct connection to the military, so they want to help. They don't know how to do it, and when they hear about our mission and how easy it is to support these families who've sacrificed the most for our country, it's typically a pretty strong reaction of support, just like your friend gave.
Well, David, just one last question. Would you give us some stats on how many children have received scholarships, and just an example of what the results are of you and all your associates and all those who have joined in? What's really happened?
Sure. Well, we've provided about $9.5 million of support, scholarships, and other types of support to these families, which is a great start. We've helped 550 kids go to school, and we're just getting started. We estimate that there's about 20,000 kids across the country over the last 30 years who have lost a parent in a line of duty. Nobody really knows exactly what that number is. Nobody really knows where exactly all those families are, which is part of the problem that we're trying to solve with what we're doing. And we're in contact, we think, with about a third of those families. We've identified about 6,000 of those, and we're going to find every single one of those 20,000 and make sure that they get help. And if we could do that, then that would mean that they need about $500 million of support. So that's our long goal. It's a lot of money, but in the world of charitable causes, it's a manageable amount of money. It's a realistic amount of money that, as a nation, we could come together and find $500 million and send all these kids to college.
Well, I wish for you and for the children and all those children that have yet to be found the much success. David Kim, co-founder and president of the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation. David, that website one more time?
It's www.fallenpatriots.org, and the Drop and Give Me 10 website is, of course, dropandgiveme10.net.
I appreciate that. David, thank you so much for joining us on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. It was my pleasure to be a part and to play a small part in a project that is bigger than all of us put together. But I see you're biting that elephant one step at a time, or one push-up at a time. I congratulate you, and I thank you for joining us on Car Clinic today.
Well, thank you so much, Bobby. It's a real pleasure. It's a real honor. We appreciate your support, and it really means a lot to us. And just like you said, with everybody doing their part, it can add up to a tremendous amount of support for these families. So we are very, very grateful to everyone.